Hello, this is part 2 in a playlist I'm creating on subscriber channel reviews, where I go into somebody who's subscribed to me and who's asked me to do so, and I go into their channel and I look at the channel and see if there's anything I can recommend that they can do to improve or to speed up their progress and growth. And I'm not claiming to be any sort of expert, rather it's just a second set of eyes. Sometimes it can help to just have a fresh perspective on your channel. And also doing this, helps me to look at my own channel and consider some of the things that I'm talking about today on Josh's channel here, on my own channel, and see if there's anything that I can improve myself. So it helps me as well as hopefully helping the people that I'm reviewing. So let's jump over to Josh from Inspired Isolation and take a look at his channel. So to start off with, I usually just look at the banner. Now, what I want you to think about with a banner, and I've said this before, I'm going to keep saying it, a banner is not important to your channel. Now, I know that you're sitting there probably now thinking, I spent ages thinking about my banner or making my banner, or I am currently making my banner and it's taken me ages. But you've got to think about it like this. How do people find your channel? They find it through your videos, okay? And that is whatever, search, browse, recommended videos, it all comes down to your video being presented to somebody. And then they check whether they like it or not. Now, if they do, they're going to subscribe, most likely. So they're not even going to find their way to your channel until they've probably seen some of your content. And by that point, they've probably decided whether they like your content or not. And if they're on your channel, it's because they did like your content, I would have thought. So, based on that, what you need to think about is your videos are the thing that draw people in, not your banner. And if somebody goes to your channel after watching one of your great videos and then they see a bad banner, it doesn't matter. It's like if you presented me with a really nice cake and I thought, that looks great, I can't wait to eat some of that. And then I turn around and say, oh, but there's no cherry on top of the cake. I can't possibly eat that cake now. Putting the cherry on might make it look a little bit nicer, perhaps, but it's not really going to make any difference to the taste of the cake or how, much I want a piece of that cake, whether the cherry was there or not. It's just literally the icing on the cake. It's that little bit of extra that isn't important at all, but just adds a tiny piece to what's already great. So think about that. The other way I'd like to say is, if I dig up a diamond, I don't care if it's got a bit of mud on it. Your content is the diamond. The bad banner is just a little piece of mud. It still doesn't change the value of the diamond, okay? So, Josh's banner is actually really good. But I just wanted to take that second to talk about banners because I think it's important. I like Josh's banner. It says exactly what his channel is about, homesteading, solitude and self-reliance. I like the rustic sort of feel of it. The picture is really good. The only thing I could say that you could possibly improve, you could move the whole thing down just slightly, because the house, if you see on the screen, the house looks like it's been cropped by the stupid YouTube banners and how they work. So you could move it slightly down, just a couple of, ticks, if you like, just down so that you can see the whole house and the top of the trees. It's not a big thing. I'm really picking at small things here because it's a great banner. The other thing that I thought about is homesteading is in bold and the rest is in regular font, typeface, whatever you call it. You could maybe move the bold into the middle, so homesteading goes in the middle, because the bold makes it attract more attention. Or you could just make them all bold or all small, all lower, not lowercase. What's the non-bold, whatever you call it, regular typeface. Okay, so either move the homesteading into the middle, or just make everything bold, or make everything regular, just to balance it out. Basically, is all I'm thinking. It just adds to the symmetry. Now, some people might be thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. It looks fine. It does. It is great. But in my mind, it's just that symmetrical design that is slightly off because of that one bold word. Something to think about. It's up to you, but it's a great banner, so don't worry about it. Don't spend too much time on it. Spend time instead on your content. So let's have a look. So Josh has been going for around a month, I believe. Yep. And he's got 39 subscribers, 12 videos made up of 8 long form and 4 shorts. 39 subscribers after a month. That's pretty good. I had 19 after 2 months. So, I mean, we don't need to compare to each other, but at the same time, you know, hopefully that makes you feel like if you're a bit, you know, depressed about your progress or anything like that, and same for anybody else out there, 39, that's pretty good after a month. And only, you know, 12 videos, and I'm going to say 8 videos because I don't even really count shorts as videos, as not on a long form channel at least, which I think is your main goal. So, well, let's take a look at the shorts. So here we are, we've got 4 shorts. 2 of them are about Zoe, your dog, which are great. Like, I think she's absolutely part of your channel. And unfortunately, she's no longer with us, but I think she's been mentioned on your channel, and people like myself who is a subscriber to you will know the story. And if you guys want to check out Josh's story here, then please do. So she's part of your channel, absolutely. But the Blue Angels and the village in Gatlinburg at night, those 2 videos, in my mind, don't really fit in with your channel. Now, they have gathered some views for you, which is great. But what I would question is, have those videos brought in people who are interested in your homesteading, solitude and self-reliance, or have they brought in people who are interested in aircrafts or almost tourism? So these 2 are almost on like different themes from each other and from your entire channel. So I would question the worth of having them, because if you think about it like this, if you have a subscriber that comes from one of these videos and they're interested in planes, then they come to your channel, they subscribe, they see that the rest of your channel is not something that interests them, perhaps, and then they become a dead subscriber. Because when YouTube sends out videos to, when you release a video and they send them out to your core audience, which are your subscribers, they test them on those first to see if the subscribers respond well. And if they don't, then they won't push the video to other people. If the subscribers do respond well, they'll push the videos out to more people like those subscribers. Now, even if one of those people sees one of your other videos and likes it just on a one-off, you know, basis, the videos are going to get sent out to people like them. And if they never watch homesteading, solitude and self-reliance videos, and they always watch aircraft videos, they're going to send your video out to a bunch of aircraft enthusiasts. And your video is now about homesteading. So they're not going to be interested. Or they might, but many of them won't. What you want is for them to be sent out to people who actually enjoy homesteading and self-reliance and stuff. So having those 2 shorts, I don't think adds to your channel. I'm not saying you need to remove them or anything, but I wouldn't make more like that unless that's the route you're going down. And they're almost, you know, this lifestyle sort of tourism type thing. I thought it was a nice video, but it's not in keeping with the rest of your channel. Something to think about. Maybe don't do more shorts on unrelated subjects. Just if you're going to do shorts and long form, keep them related to your long form content, and even as a tool to push people from your shorts to your long form content. So once you get to an established user base, which 39 subscribers, one of them's me, as I've said, because I will watch these kind of videos. I do watch these kind of videos, and I'm going to give you some information about that later, because this is actually a niche I do enjoy and I do know something about. So I think once you find your niche and the videos are being pushed out to the right people, eventually you can start trying out some other things, like perhaps a little bit of, you know, the lifestyle and tourism, because that might click with those people once they like you. But now it's too many things. I've done the same on my channel at first, so I know, I think I know what I'm talking about. I specialized too broadly in things instead of, you know, the sort of motivation and the YouTube growth. I was doing CapCut videos and stuff, and I do plan to revisit some of them and do a few more maybe, but maybe not exactly now, because as soon as I started doubling down on the core idea of my channel, that's when things started to take off. I mean, I went from 19 subscribers after 2 months, and at the end of that 2-month period, when I got my boost in subscribers, it took 2 weeks for me to get another over 100 subscribers in 2 weeks. So 19 in 2 months, 100 in 2 weeks. That's a big difference. And that was from doubling down. So I recommend, that's why I'm saying this, because I've made the mistake and I think I suffered for it as well. You're already doing better than I was at 1 month. So change it now, because that will, I believe, boost your growth. Let's go back to videos. So let's take a look at the thumbnails. I think the thumbnails are good. I think you should stick with one font, and color wise, you've gone for these yellow and white. I think that's okay. I think sometimes it blends in a little bit, perhaps, with the background. What you could do is make it a little bigger, and if you go over to Thumbsuptv, is, you know, the previous thumbnail that I made on my previous video, and here you can see what your thumbnail looks like. You just drag it and drop it into here. You can write a title if you want, and it shows you what your thumbnail is going to look like in all the different places that YouTube's going to show it. So if you check your text on these, you want your text to be readable on whatever size or device or whatever it is that YouTube's displaying it on. So always check them on Thumbsuptv. So some of your fonts, yeah, some of your text is maybe could be much bigger, especially these garden ones. And they are the biggest of your text, but I think they would add to the message of your video. What are we going to get from this video when we click on it? Because that is a combination of the thumbnail text and the description. So I think you could probably recolor that to make it stand out better across the green. So maybe make it white and pick one font and stick with that. Otherwise, I think your thumbnails are decent. Like, they are decent quality, decent lighting. The first one, I think that's your first video. That one's a little darker, but you've improved. What I noticed when I clicked on some of these videos, let me click on one.
Hey y'all, just doing a quick video.
So what I saw here was that you actually had some wind noise because you were filming with your iPhone.
So much gouache.
And now
you can see some of that.
What you've done is you have, I don't know if you can see it, you can see it some of these. You've got a DJI Mic 2, which I think was a great, there it is on your vest there. DJI Mic 2, which is a great investment for your audio. So your audio is good, especially now. And you're filming with an iPhone, which is fine. Like, these all look great. So thumbnails, I don't think you need to work on too much. I think your best thumbnail, we had a bit of a discussion about this in one of the comment sections of my videos, and Raina pointed out that your thumbnails are decent, and she thought that I think this one was your best, and I agree. I think this one with Zoe in is your best thumbnail. You've got a really nice, everything's good, you know, nice colors, nice picture of the dog, nice balanced text, everything's great. That is a good thumbnail. So basically with thumbnails, just dial in the text to be really clear on what people are going to get from the video, or create that curiosity and then use the title to show what they're going to get. Because when people have looked at the thumbnail, they go straight and look at the title if they haven't already clicked on your video. So use those as a combination to get people in. Your video quality is good in all of your videos. I've watched all of them, so it's good in all of them. You talked about being hot here in this one, in your wood shop. I get it. You've seen my video about studio space. My studio's hot as well. But yeah, good video quality, nothing to complain about there. The only thing I might say is that in some of them, like this one here, you can see you're quite close to the camera all the time, and you've got a nice background and a lot of nice scenery, which you do show in your videos. Maybe you could have a little more separation between you and the camera so that we can see the background as well, because the background is also part of what draws people to be engaged by the video, because they can listen. They don't need to see you. I mean, it's good they do see you, but they don't need to focus on you all the time. They can focus on you, and then, you know, if they get a bit bored or whatever it is that they're thinking, looking at the background keeps the interest, because it's moving, it's dynamic, it's really nice as well in Colorado there. So maybe you could have it a little bit further out, a longer selfie stick, or make sure your phone's fully zoomed out, or whatever it is that's making it a little bit close. Your presentation is good. You are quite concise, and you suffer sometimes from one of the things that I do, which I'm trying to improve, and I'm going to do a video on that because it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, is saying a lot and that type of thing. You're not bad at that, but I noticed there's a few, and I think ideally we'd like to strive to cut all of them out. So would I. So it's something I'm working on, and I'm coming up with a video idea about that. But your presentation's good. You have a good voice. You have good presence. I noticed in the woodshop video, you can see it just there. You're moving your chair quite a bit, and you fidget a lot. I think it's because you're a bit uncomfortable because you're hot, and I think also it's that, talking to the camera, not nerves as such, but it makes you in a certain. I talked about it in one of my videos. The green, the yellow, the red states. I think as soon as you start talking to the camera, you're not as relaxed as you'd normally be. So maybe you've got a bit of energy that you need to get rid of, and you start moving around and shifting your chair. And it's a very small thing, but I think in your other videos, you're sitting in a fixed chair, which you can't move around in. And then your delivery is much more, even in the first video, you are much more calm, still, almost. So I think it's just that chair. I've got a similar one here by the looks of it. And, if I was doing this a lot, which maybe I do, I need to go back and look at my own videos now. But yeah, just maybe sit a little more still. I looked at your posts. You made one 2 days ago, which I thought was interesting. I'll read it out. Due to feeling a loss in motivation, I'll be challenging myself in the month of September to upload a video every single day in that month. I don't know if it's due to loss in my family or being self-critical, but I need to reignite that motivation and won't be taking any breaks. My goal will be to not lose quality, but continue improving with each video. If you'd like to see that month-long journey and a self-reflection of what I've learned by the end, keep an eye out in September. If you're feeling lost or lacking motivation, I challenge you to challenge yourself in some way as well. Just keep moving on. Just keep on moving, sorry. I think it's an interesting challenge, and I definitely agree that you need to make sure you don't lose quality, because this is the most important part, I believe, of this video that I'm going to come to now. When I see your channel, I love the idea, and that's why I'm subscribed, because I like this kind of content. I know you were a park ranger. I know you have an associate's degree in outdoor leadership, I believe it is. I know you've been in the Air Force. I know you have the bushcraft skills. You are interested in prepping and homesteading. All of those things are things that I'm also interested in and have watched many videos on in the past. I still do watch videos on that stuff. So I'm going to show you some videos on channels that I think would suit you perfectly. Because at the moment you're doing motivational videos by talking about motivation. I think that you could motivate people using your skills, which you suggest you're doing by homesteading, solitude and self-reliance, but you haven't actually shown those skills yet. So I would like to see you show your skills in bushcraft and prepping and all these other things on your channel. I think that is a huge niche and a massive opportunity. I'm going to prove it. So let's start with this guy. This is the closest thing that I'm subscribed to. And this is somebody I watched a long time ago before I even set up my own channel. And this is a guy in Denmark who basically worked in a 9-to-5 office job, decided to quit that. And what he did was he bought a trailer and built a little home on it, which you can see in these pictures here. And then he dragged it out to the forest on somebody else's land initially. He lived there, and then he moved onto his own piece of land. And now he basically just talks about his whole journey. He's done so many smart things. He does classes for people who want to do something similar. They pay for it. They came to his land, built a new house as part of the course that then sits on his land, and now he rents it on Airbnb. I mean, like, that's genius. He got people to pay to build him a house that he then rents out. So this guy, you should definitely check out. Some of the first videos are in Danish, I think, but then he switches to English now. And he has 85,000 subscribers. It sounds like exactly what you want to do. So check this out. I'm just going to run through some other quick channels, and then I'll tell you why. Xander Budnick, he has 1.58 million subscribers. He does outdoor bushcraft, survival, kayaking and stuff. He talks in his videos. This guy, Swedwoods, he's a Swedish guy. He goes out in the Swedish forest, just makes stuff, cooks, enjoys the nature basically, and that's it. And he doesn't talk at all. Wild Bear, she's really likable. I really like her videos. She just goes out and does camping, staying in weird tents, weird places. Some of her thumbnails are great. I love these. They're fantastic. Really great, almost videography, but in a thumbnail, if that makes sense. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but I think these are great. 400,000. Lux on Bushcraft, another one. 646,000. Goes out with his dog, doesn't talk, builds stuff, builds shelters. He's actually working on a house now, but this was really cool, building a cliff shelter from start to finish inside a little cave on the cliff. Brilliant. Great channel. Now, that brings me on to something else. So you might wonder why I've got this on the screen. I'll tell you in a minute. But what am I trying to tell you with all those channels? All of them are to do with outdoor skills, bushcraft, homesteading, and basically stuff that you are doing. And all of them are inspirational, but they're inspirational in the fact of what they're actually doing on the channel. So Anders is inspirational because he's done what many people want to do and made it work. These guys, all of these are inspirational because they just go out and show themselves doing stuff. Xander talks about some, struggles in life and things like that on his channel while he's doing them, but he'll put that into the channel, or into the video like halfway through or something. So where he talks about any, motivation or problems that he has or whatever, he slides that into the video. So he's already got you watching because of the inspiration that you can get from him going out and doing all this stuff, the kayaking and stuff, all these solo trips and things. But then he gives you the sort of mindset behind it all as well, from his own personal take, which I think is exactly what you can do. I think you're already doing that. You just haven't got the rest of the entertainment bit as part of it. Same with all of these. All of them do the similar thing. Some of them speak, some of them don't, but they motivate through their actions. And then some of them will talk about things, subjects, because you're already invested in watching them now because you love what they're doing. And then you want to hear what they've got to say about themselves. I think you could go massive from doing something like these guys are doing. Now, why did I have this knots thing on the screen? I had an idea for a channel once. It could literally be shorts, just tying knots, right? Showing people how to tie different knots, fishing knots, camping knots, everything, boating, whatever. Just one massive repository of knot tying videos, right? Now, you might think that's insane. Hear me out. How to tie the most useful knot in the world, bowline. 14 million views. 14 million views, right? 2.39 million subscribers on that channel, okay? Need more? 7 essential knots. Different channel, 18 million views. The best 10 knots, 3 million views. Do I need to keep going? There's loads of shorts here as well. 13 million views. Look at them. 999,000 views. Imagine these really small skills that you could make videos about in, literally minutes. You could batch record like 50, 100 of these type of things. Now, it doesn't have to be knots, but I'm just using knots as an example because it's related to your field. Imagine you sat down for one day and did 10 videos of knot tying. You've got content now for the next 10 weeks potentially. Or you can release multiple videos back to back and just be killing it, like what you're talking about doing. So this actually, I thought of this before I even saw your post about doing a video per day. there's so many. This one was 15 hours ago, 98 views. He has 19,000 subscribers. That's not bad. I just think that they're so simple to do. You could do a great job of this. You have the skills. You have all the knowledge. If you don't know the knots, you can just learn them and do them. It doesn't matter. It's such a, I mean, it's massive. Now, you can apply that to loads of different stuff, you know, knife sharpening. I mean, in the outdoor niche and the survival, the prepping, the homesteading, it all goes together. And there's so much potential. And I think your motivation pieces that you do would be ideal within, not a knot tying video maybe, but within these outdoor skills videos, you know, how to make a campfire, how to light a fire when it's wet, how to use a ferro rod. You know, so many things in each subject. I mean, you couldn't run out of video ideas. I think that if you do exactly what you're doing already, but introduce some of your skills in these areas, like these people have, I think you'll be massive. And that is the most important thing I have to say. Now, I don't know if I'm misinterpreting what you're trying to do, or it's something that you don't agree with, or you don't want to go down that route. But that is what I would do if I was you. I even thought about doing an outdoor channel, but I decided to do the sort of YouTube motivation because that kind of gripped me in the end. But this stuff, I think for you, would be a game changer. And I feel so strongly about that. That's why I'm going on about it still after 30 minutes. I'm basically going to leave it there. Consider it, see what you think. You don't have any big things, in my opinion, to fix, except your niche, your direction, your focus. And if you get those things dialed in now, I think you're going to have 39,000 subscribers in a couple more months, honestly. So consider it, see what you think. Let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any thoughts on Josh's channel, or you like the kind of content and want to subscribe to him, only do so if you like the kind of content and are going to watch him. We talked about dead subscribers. Don't be one of those. But yeah, pop over to Josh's channel and let us know in the comments below if there's anything you've noticed that he could do, or anything you particularly like, or anything you can help with. And if you want me to do something like this for your channel, let me know. I'll be happy to take a look. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. See you in the next one.